Now I will actually go down to explain some of the chronic diseases. Like, I will start with the one of the most popular chronic diseases we are facing right now in Nigeria and in the whole world at large. Now, the HIV, meaning human immune deficiency what virus. Now, there is how this virus actually occur. If you are not sensitive enough or you are not knowledgeable about this virus, you can be a victim. Now, how does this work? It has so many processes how someone can be able to contact it. It's not something like if you touch somebody with your bare hand, you can be able to contact it. No. This actually come across so many processes. Like, we have the sexual part, we have what through sharp objects, we have through giving birth, and etc. We have different means of what contacting what this particular virus. There is one thing about this particular virus. Once this virus is inside the body system, it starts what fighting what the CD4 cells. Now, what are the CD4 cells? The CD4 cells are those cells that what fight against what infections. They are in your what immune system. They boost up your immune system. Now, this don't actually take time. It actually take time. Sorry, it don't just come quick. That's why you can be able to see someone that have maybe unprotected sex now, or maybe expose yourself through one means or the other, and they felt wow, and maybe they found out earlier that I think I found out that this person had sex with has HIV or the. Now, the fact is, this particular virus can actually go down to your CD4 cells between 72 hours. Now, how are we going to calculate 72 hours? It will give us what? 3 days. Now, in this specific period of 3 days, you can be able to what? Cure it. How? You just report yourself to the nearest health center or hospital. Now, you explain what actually happened, that you fall a victim. Now, the next question they will ask you is that, is he done how many hours ago? If you're able to tell them, maybe if it's 2 days, once it's more than 72 hours, there's nothing can be done. You need to wait for 3 or 6 months later for you to go and run the test. But if it's between this less than 72 hours, you are on the safer side. What you need to do is to go down to the hospital. They will place you on retroviral drugs. Now, what this will do at that first stage, it has not actually gotten a strength in the body immune system. It will actually suppress it. If the person indeed, the victim the person met, has such characteristics, you will see some attributes of the early stage of the symptom, which is known as the primary stage of the human immune virus. Now, such as you start seeing the person reacting the way they ought to after this doing the primary stage. Now, at this stage, now you start seeing rashes all over your body. Don't be scared. Actually, it's a symptom that indicates that indeed that virus is in the body system. But the good news I have for you is that it hasn't gotten to the CD4 cell wall. That is just it. Now, at that process, now it will it will try to evaluate, like, to remove the power rate, so that it can no longer be found in the CD4 cells. Now, that treatment might take up to, it depends on how critical the situation is. Now, after taking those doses being given by your physician, you will see that you can no longer be able to find a trace of that virus in your bloodstream or in the CD4 cells wall. Now, the problem is, how will you know whether this person you met is a victim of this human immune virus? That is just it. So the best way to actually avoid it is to always what? Use preventive what? Method, because you can't be able to prevent. As I'm talking to you now, in most states, in most countries, out of 100%, 60-65 are victim of this. And the worst thing situation is that they don't know. They don't know about this particular stuff. Now, if such kind of thing occur at that moment, even though you go down to the hospital, you run the test, automatically it will be negative. Even 2 days, 3 days. Now, during that period, we call it what is known as what? The window period.